Right, today I want to give you some of my favorite exercises that fall in the realm of movement that are going to help you tackle your lower back pain. Now, if you're looking at lower back pain, and specifically lower back pain that you're getting from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we need to look at strength, we need to look at mobility, we need to look at your day-to-day life, but also how are we going to train some of the movement demands that we get from Jiu-Jitsu. For example, there's a lot of rotation, we're moving around a lot like this in Jiu-Jitsu, which can put a lot of stress and a lot of strain. So strength is good, mobility is good, but what movement patterns are you going to bring into your training that are going to prepare your body for some of those demands that can put a lot of pressure on the lower back? I'm going to put a link in the description below that talks about a more full-bodied approach to lower back pain that you should definitely check out. But also these exercises, they've been working fantastically well for some of my clients that have had lower back pain problems, and I'm going to be releasing the program to the public that you can purchase as an online program very, very soon. So make sure you head over to bjjstrength.com and get our free Breathing for BJJ program while you're at it, and get on our mailing list so you can get your hands on the lower back pain program, so I can let you know as soon as it becomes available. With that, guys, let's get on with it. So this first exercise is something, I call it a Capoeira Twist. If you know the proper name for this exercise, if you've done Capoeira in the past, leave a little comment below so I know what to call it in the future. I got this from a book called Capoeira Conditioning, which is why I use the name. But I'll demonstrate the exercise really, really quickly and then talk about why you should be doing it for your lower back. So you're going to be standing up in a normal position. I'm going to plant one leg forward, one leg back, and I'm going to rotate towards the lead leg and open my arms up and rotate as far as I can, but my core is always engaged. So I'm trying to lead the movement with my core and with my hips rather than my arms, and then I can look over the shoulder and look down my finger as I point it. And this is fantastic for rotational movement, rotational strength. But what's also really, really good about this exercise, as you get better at it and build up not so much speed but smoothness in your movement and really extend through that rotation, it's going to open up all the tissue in the hip flexor, in the psoas, and all through the front of the body. They can get very, very tight. They can put a lot of restriction on the hips that can cause lower back pain. So it's a fantastic exercise. I would recommend doing about 20 of these, and over time, as you get better, you can build up into a bit more speed, but start off with it nice and slow, nice and smooth, nice and controlled. So that's the first exercise. Okay, this next exercise is going to be very challenging, but is amazing for preparing your body for the rotational demands of Jiu-Jitsu. And it's going to be good for core strength, core stability. There's going to be a lot of carryover effects for the kind of movements that you need to do for Jiu-Jitsu. And also, I haven't got a name for this exercise, so if you can think of what we should call it, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. So we're going to start off in this position, just sitting on the floor, and we're going to do, maybe we call it a technical stand-up rotation. You'll see why in a second. So this position here, where you're going to be doing a technical stand-up in Jiu-Jitsu and clearing space and coming up. But what we're going to do is stay down and fully rotate and come into, it's like a Superman crawl-in type plank position you're going to see. So I'm going to come around and come into this position. I'm going to hold, pause for a second, and then come back around and rest. And then I would do it on the other side. So I come here, everything, all my weight on my leg and through my arm. I'm going to rotate around. This is going to be a really nice view for you on the camera, so I apologize. But you get the idea, right? So I'm sitting here, I rotate all the way around, and I want to come all the way until my body is square, and I hold that position and come back around. So you probably want to do about 10 of those on each side. Fantastic for tying up what we call the X, right, across the body. When we move in more athletic movements, we're rarely using one side of our body at a time. We're typically driving off one leg. As we can demonstrate right in here, it's opposite arm and opposite leg. Most of the movements we do are going to be working in that fashion. You think of sprinting, opposite arm and opposite leg. Jiu-Jitsu is no different. So any movement that we can do to help tie together the X is going to be fantastic, and it's going to really strengthen all the way through the spine, through the hips, even quite good for the shoulders, actually with this one as well. But when we're strong through the core, through the spine, through the hips, it takes the strain off the lower back. Give that one a go, guys. So this next exercise, I believe, is called a scorpion twist, or anyway, that's what I call it. And this is a really good exercise. You can use it as part of your warm-up for jiu-jitsu. You can use it as part of your cool down, and it's going to be really, really good. Maybe out of all the exercises that I've shown in this video, for preparing your body and particularly your spine for the rotational demands of jiu-jitsu, and it's going to go a long, long way for, you know, helping your lower back on top of all the other exercises. So I'm going to start off with the first one. I'm going to be lying face down. My arms are spread out as far as I can. I want to put my head on the forehead on the floor. So, you know, my spine is not like this, my spine is not bent. If you've noticed, guys, in all my videos, I'm very big on keeping the spine in a neutral position. I'm going to pull the shoulder blades down and back, and what I'm going to do is rotate all the way over and try to touch my hand. Okay, I don't want to rotate too far over. It kind of takes away the stretch. The head down and rotate. Just like that. And apologies if my voice got a little bit muffled when I was on the floor. But anyway, carrying on, now we're going to do the same thing. Arms spread out, and I'm going to pick one leg up and try to touch my hand. If you can't touch your hand, that's okay. Not everyone's going to be able to do that. Come all the way through and go as far as you can. And over time, your range of motion is going to improve. I'm trying to keep my shoulders as tight to the floor as I can. Because, you know, the more that I keep my shoulders and upper body pinned, there's going to be a little bit of movement. That's okay. And the more I keep my head in a neutral position, the rotation is going to be working through the lower back, and that's where most of the demand is going to be in jiu-jitsu. So that may be my favorite of all the four, and it's one of those exercises that's not too demanding, but so you can do it to warm up, to cool down. You can do it nearly every single day just to keep your back healthy and supple, and make sure you're training some of those movement patterns that help prepare you for the movement demands of jiu-jitsu. The next exercise that we're going to look at is a single leg deadlift, and what this is going to do, it's a bit of a movement exercise, kind of a strength exercise at the same time, but shouldn't be too strenuous for most people. It's going to be fantastic for strengthening the glutes a lot further. It's also going to be good for core strength, but it's going to open up the hamstrings as well, and the hamstrings can get very, very tight from all the sitting we do, or just from jiu-jitsu in general. And if our hamstrings are tight, then that puts a lot of pressure on the pelvis, and then can cause strain in the lower back. So we're going to stand off. Let me create an angle slightly. So we're going to start off in one leg. My glutes are really turned on, my hips are not sticking out, my pelvis is pointing up in the air, and from this position try to maintain a neutral position with the chin kind of tucked and pulled back. And I'm not trying to reach with my arms, I'm just going to slowly go down and leave my arms, so I'm not reaching back, reaching forward, sorry, my shoulder blades are down and back. And the goal here, as you can see, it's a little bit difficult to balance, is not necessarily to touch the floor and to stretch to touch the floor. It's going to be to open up the hamstring, but also develop a bit more coordination and strength through the core and through the spine.